right from the start, when I started working on my 2.8, I decided that I was not going to go the route that I had done 3 times before. I have just installed my twin ARB compressor into a bracket, and it was very easy for me to mount it. I will be mounting the tank. I loved it, and it's a very good product, but it's costly, expensive, and I thought to myself, surely there is another alternative that will work as well without having to invest so much. So of course I did consider the one that I got from King's for my Range Rover crossing.
I'm Andrew St Pierre White, explorer, overlander and broadcaster with over 40 years driving 4x4s. In association with Egon, game-changing simplicity.
I'm going to start my researching by looking at this. This was a cheap unit that I actually purchased for my Range Rover crossing in 2022 when I purchased that 45-year-old Range Rover and drove across the country. I didn't use this on the trip, didn't need to, but this is a common or garden inexpensive unit. I'd fit 2 of these in there, it would work. And I'm thinking there is almost enough space. They will protrude a little bit. Given the interior fitment that has been put into my vehicle, until I get that in, won't know how much space I've got to play with.
Not wanting to go same old, by the time I had fitted my interior, I had still not decided what to do until early 2025.
Behold, the new era of compressors in cars.
The idea of fitting an AC compressor was actually Heine's idea and was for our 4x4 van project. But I figured, I've got plenty of power, why not do something similar in my Troopy?
These come from a tool shop. This is $600, this is $400. It also means getting rid of ARB, the connections. Now you have a number of different standardized air connections for pneumatic tools. ARB decided to come up with their own. They look very, very similar to, this is the Nito, most common, very similar to that, but they're not the same. They don't fit. But this one for the Troopy, the tank was too big. So I went looking on the internet and I found a smaller version of this. It has the same size 1.1 kilowatt double piston compressor, but it has a 8-litre tank instead of a 12-litre tank. 8 litres is ample for what I need it for. And that was $600. This was $250. I also investigated importing the parts separately, and it would cost 3 times the amount than buying it as a complete ready imported product. This was over East. I bought it online, and here it is. And I'm going to give it a run and a test before I start cutting it to bits and fitting it in my Troopy. The standard of electrical installations in 4x4s, caravan, camper trailers is actually quite poor, and that is because of a lack of expertise and companies doing vehicle builds holding on to that expertise. That is no longer a problem because of the Egon DC hub. It reduces build time, installation time, by over 75%. Difficult to believe, yes, but it's a simple unit that allows all of the batteries, all of the chargers, all of the accessories to be wired into one compact place. No need for a bus bar. And because no lugs, no heat shrink, all you need is a screwdriver. And you wire everything to one compact place. It saves a huge amount of space, and as I said, a huge amount of time. And you will get a first-rate, first-class installation every single time without the need for expertise. You owe it to yourself to go to egon.com.au, look for DC Hub. It will change your build and to possibly change your life. Right, running from my car's inverter, we'll deflate a tyre and then reinflate it, but we'll use the car's inverter because why not? How many amps is that pulling?
100 amps.
An obvious question is, will this compressor be able to withstand the vibrations of corrugations?
Let's see if it works.
Time will tell. That's why I'm here.
Gee, that is quiet. Somebody else commented that in fact that it would be so noisy, and my reaction to that was a plane crash is quieter than an ARB twin compressor. So this is okay. Well, that short burst there filled the 8-litre tank. That was fast. So I've started dismantling it. There is the compressor, which will fit comfortably where I have designed it might go. The control I can get rid of because I'm not going to be using air tools that I need to control the pressure, and the electrical box is there, and it's going to be quite easy to just rerun the AC cables. Here then is the compressor on the bracket, and I've mounted it on rubber. It is worth noting at this time that it looks a little bit of a Heath Robinson affair. If I had been installing this while I built the interior, the installation would be far neater, cleaner. And what is obvious at this time is that the installation is actually taking up quite a bit of space. I would probably fit the compressor somewhere else, and the tank certainly underneath the vehicle. But remember, this is an experiment. There are arguments both ways on whether a tank speeds up the process of inflating tyres, and I believe it is a significant time saver. In this case, I've got 8 litres of air at 8 bar, and restricted only by the narrowness of the tyre valve itself, that air being dumped into the first tyre. Then of course when that tyre is at right pressure, I then move on to the others. It is still pumping while I'm moving. That is a double-edged sword to a degree, because what is the duty cycle of this particular compressor? I don't know what it is, but it might not be 100% duty cycle as it is with the ARB. I wonder how long it would have taken the ARB to pump the 4-litre tank. And then I had an idea. I had the ARB twin and a 4-litre tank in my grey Troopy, and I know somewhere in my footage I've got some shots of it running. I'm going to run a timer to that and see what happens. That has surprised me. It's taken an additional 7 seconds for the ARB twin to pump a tank that is half its volume. If these measurements are correct, it makes the new system 2.7 times faster than the ARB twin. The other part, of course, is a tank. It's so nice because, well, you can blow the dust off the back of the vehicle, and I really like doing that. I definitely wouldn't say I was OCD when it comes to dust in my living area, but I do. I really like to get rid of it before opening the back and popping the tent. The brackets for this is 3D printed, and I just brought out my printer now to test it, and it will go like that. 6mm bolts, captive underneath there, so that goes underneath there. The other one is underneath there, and that is secured like that, and that will be secured like that. Right, it's about a week later and I have the final component, the high pressure pipe that runs from the compressor that is installed and the tank now installed. But if I work out what this cost, $250 for the tank and compressor and $150 for me to have this high pressure pipe made up for me. So this has kind of skewed the balance, but still, if you think about it, I spent $400 on this, and I've got, well, let's find out what I've got. I think you'll agree that that is very quiet. I'm going to reiterate here, this is an experiment, okay, not a final installation. But the interesting thing is that as part of this process I've been going through, trying to find a better way of inflating and deflating tyres, I've discovered a product that I think will revolutionize this game completely. 20.24 seconds, slightly longer than it was before because we've got a longer line between the compressor and the tank, and I've got a long line also to the valve at the end, so that's of course all being equalized at 8 bar. So that is still considerably better than the ARB Twin, which I've chosen as the benchmark, which I think is a fair benchmark because it's one of the most expensive on the market. Back to this idea. I came up with an idea, and it probably wasn't my idea alone, but it was, I wanted to build an air system where I would not have to spend a lot of time kneeling in the dust, reducing my tire pressures, and likewise a lot of time connecting valves and things, pipes, to inflate. Fact is that there is a company in South Africa that has done this almost exactly, but actually better than I had first thought of, because they have changed the Schrader valves, standard tire valves, for something else, which means the flow of air is going to be far easier in and out of the tire itself. And they've also built a system where you can set the pressure, you literally dial it in, and you press a button, and oh, started up again. I must have a small leak. You dial it in, press a button, and it either deflates or inflates, depending on what you set the pressure. Imagine that. Think about that. I've had a thought here. I don't want to appear to be having a go at ARB. This is not what I'm doing. I'm just playing out, presenting the playing field and as it is now. There is, of course, the ARB links. Some of you may have fitted this type of system, i.e. dial in the pressure. And of course, ARB links is electronic. What I'm talking about is not electronic. I would like you to comment, please, if you have an ARB links and it does this for you. Put in a pressure, press it, deflates the tires, obviously once the pipes are connected, or increase and pump up and stop at a predetermined pressure. If yours works with ARB links, please let us know. I have yet to find a single person for whom this works with ARB links, but I think they advertise that it is part of the system. Maybe you can help clarify that for us. That's what I had in mind, and that's what these people have developed. And I'm going over to Africa. By the time you see this, I'll probably be in Africa. And I've had it installed in my Africa Land Cruiser, and I will be testing it and showing it to you. I'm actually talking to the South African company. That's a very small organization that has developed this. This kind of innovation rarely comes out of big companies because it takes engineers with single-minded focus. to come up with something so revolutionary. The next video, same goal, is taking it to the next level. If this interests you, you must subscribe, because you have to tell YouTube that you're interested. Otherwise they won't know, and then they won't tell you that the new video is out. So you click that little notifications bell and you'll get a notification. My idea here is to change the way we think about inflating and deflating tyres. So many companies have come up with ideas and pipes and da-da-da-da and this and that, and what I've done just now, exactly this. But nobody has leapt the fence. This company in South Africa has, and I will be testing it and bringing you those videos. Thank you for watching. See you next time.